And then I think one of our major challenges is that we also have our wounds, as we say.
Yes.
And we are not aware of them, and we don't always see how we keep attracting people that shine that spotlight on our wounds.
Yes.
So now we just feel this attraction, this connection, and we follow that person right down the rabbit hole into our own wounding.
It happens so easily. Let me give an example. You have the wound of abandonment, and I have the wound of abandonment.
Mm-hmm.
On a subconscious level, we don't even know that we both actually have the same wounding.
Mm.
But because we have the same woundedness, it creates a sense of relatedness, a sense of resonance, a sense of, and automatically that creates a connectedness. So any relationship can give us the possibility to heal. And because we both have the same woundedness, we can actually help one another to heal from this wound of abandonment.
But that doesn't always happen, right?
Unfortunately not.
Mm.
So with what we do not heal, we basically project. And now this projection can actually create even a bigger wounding. So it can exaggerate the wounding. You maybe came into this relationship with a wound of abandonment, but now this relationship can heal it, or it can exaggerate that the wound of abandonment is even bigger than it were before the relationship.
So it actually amplifies it.
It amplifies it, yes.
But now how would that wounding show up? Because we're not always aware of our wounds. How would it show up in behavior in that relationship?
Good question. So abandonment actually shows up in 3 different ways. Mm-hmm. And it can show up in one way is maybe more predominant than other ways, or it can show up only in one way, or it can show up in all 3 ways in different areas of your life. So you also need to do a bit of introspection to really look at it. So the first thing what abandonment does, it says, I don't want to participate, and I don't want to connect with other people, and I don't want to include myself because I fear abandonment. So now I withdraw and I withhold my own energy. The second thing what abandonment does is like, I actually want to connect with people. I want to include myself. I want participation. But we look at every relationship through this woundedness of abandonment. So we look, maybe there's someone who's going to abandon me. And we see a certain sign because the mind works with association. So now I see a sign of abandonment. So now I will abandon you before you can actually abandon me. The third is quite common. What many people do, they become like people pleasers. I become all things to all people because if you need me, you cannot abandon me.
Okay, so almost overdoing, over-pleasing to make myself indispensable in your world.
Most definitely.
That type of thing.
Definitely.
So, Quinton, let's take a practical example of this wound of abandonment. Let's play it out to make it a bit more tangible. So say you and I are attracted to each other. We find each other in a relationship, but unbeknownst to us, we both carry the wound of abandonment within ourselves, and that actually pulled us together. But then at some point, you get pressure from work, and your focus moves to work. And now, having that wound, you refocusing a little bit in the relationship triggers that abandonment for me, because I feel that you are pulling away and you may be shutting me out of your world now. Now I start behaving through my wound, and I do one of those 3 things. I could also shut off possibly, but say in this instance, I go to the people pleasing, and now I over please, overdo. So I become a bit clingy and needy. How will that trigger your abandonment wound then?
I think the normal behavior which usually will happen is I will basically withdraw because already at work I'm already overwhelmed. So I can't give what I don't have. So already in that moment, not that it doesn't come from a place of ill intent. It is just I want to manage my own energy. So basically what I would do, I think the normal thing to do of human behaviors, I would just withdraw a bit. Not that I actually mean to abandon you, but it can be perceived as abandonment.
Yes, because that will trigger you abandoning me now.
Yes.
You pulling away.
Yes, for sure.
In that regard. But at the same token, you could be abandoning me because I am now overwhelming. Because the one thing about wounding is that it has two sides to it, right? The more obvious is what we fear, we try and avoid, but what we fear, we become as well.
Yeah, so what I will do, I guess the context will be, because I have the wound of abandonment, what I will do, there's a chance that I can actually abandon you. We can easily, because I have the wound of abandonment, I can see the wound of abandonment everywhere, but I can't actually see the wound of abandonment within myself.
But you will inflict it on others as well.
I will inflict it on others as well.
Ways.
Yes.
But get back to our example. So now you pull away a little bit further because I'm quite overwhelming. And I immediately go, you're abandoning me. Because also subconsciously, we actually enter into these relationships fearing that exact thing. So I've actually subconsciously feared that you will be doing it. So now you're doing it, and I go, see, I knew this was going to happen. So now I pack my bags and I go.
Automatically, what I will feel abandoned as well. So now I will say, now what I believed is definitely true. So now my assumption of abandonment is even amplified.
Yeah.
So now I will even look even more through the glasses of abandonment. So those three things I've mentioned, that can even increase even more.
In your behavior. And mine. Behavior. So we leave each other actually more traumatized and more wounded.
Exactly like we said.
And going out into the world, guess what neon lights will be flashing for us? More abandonment wounds in other people,
for sure,
to bring us another opportunity to heal. But we don't know that. I think that's a important thing to realize, is that our wounding is subconscious, and we all carry trauma. And what happens when we traumatized by these hurting onto each other is we actually disown parts of ourselves, of our own psyche, because we blame ourselves as well. We judge ourselves and the other person.
Most definitely.
And I think a very important thing to realize is that there is not a human being walking on the face of the earth that does not have some wounding, emotional wounding, regardless of what we want to believe consciously.
Yeah.
What I also realize is that we can actually resonate with someone else through our virtues and our vices. And so, what is your virtues and your vices? That is the question many times people ask. So, your virtues is basically the positivity in your life. It is the good habits you maybe have, the healthy thought patterns, the positive outlook on life. That is all your virtues.
Healthy habits.
For sure.
Yeah. Whatever supports your growth.
Whatever supports your growth. So basically now I get into a relationship with someone else, and that person, wow, they also have the similar habits, which is healthy. Or maybe they have healthier habits than what I have. Then it can basically help me to evolve and to become actually a better person. So that relationship, we have similar virtues, or the other person have better virtues than what I am, and therefore it can actually empower me to become a better version of myself.
Like an upward spiral.
Most definitely, it's an upward spiral. And then the downward spiral is basically the vices. So there's also resonance, but now it's maybe we are both cynical, or we have both destructive or negative habits or beliefs,
like addiction,
or even addiction. Exactly. Like maybe you're alcoholic and I'm alcoholic, and wow, there's absolutely
a lot of fun together.
Lots of fun together. There's resonance. There's no need for justification
or
judgment. So it brings a sense of relief, but automatically it creates a downward spiral, and you actually move further away from yourself, and you actually can lose yourself actually in that relationship even more than you have before. And now that can actually amplify the addiction, for example.
And I also realized that sometimes that is what we need to face the reality. You know, sometimes we have to go down a downward spiral and the rabbit hole to hit rock bottom before we can really see and face our wounding and that reality. But at the same time, we want to say, if the compatibility assessment is your safety net, it is an opportunity to learn, maybe in the easier way, in the less destructive way. There's always that choose the hard path or the easy path.
Yes, because there's compatibility in your vices as well.
No, but if you can see that, if you can see I'm going down a downward spiral, that's what is bringing us together. Maybe this is not the relationship that I need to lose myself in now.
Exactly.
You can choose a different way of healing than the crash and burn
You must
way.
still choose what's better for yourself at the end of the day. Yeah.
Thank you for listening. And if this resonated with you and you would like to learn more about smart relationships, like and subscribe and look out for more videos on relationships.